We live in interesting times. This week's stories. Movies to enjoy with your family this weekend. American Samoa schools undergo major adjustments ahead of COVID-19 outbreak. Vegas goes blue for their frontliners. A Year of Less, a book review from one of our EBC friends. Local sports taking hit from COVID-19. A run workout with Mike. Plus, how to make garlic knots, and how to give something a fresh new look with a simple DIY project. This is Eagle News Weekend Edition, coming to you from Las Vegas, bringing you stories from around the globe. I'm Anna Kui. And now for the details. Just because many of our favorite movie theaters are closed, it doesn't mean we can't have family movie time. Here's Julianne DeSena from our Las Vegas bureau with her picks for you to enjoy. Let's take a look.
For families with younger children, Disney's Onward is now available for free to all Disney Plus subscribers. Onward takes us on a magical adventure loaded with obstacles and cryptic maps and surprising discoveries as teenage elf brothers Ian and Barley try desperately to spend one more day with their late father. The animation is beautiful, and the journey leaves you with an appreciation for the life lessons learned by the brothers. To extend family time, you can also download the free activity packet from their website, filled with a memory card game, a maze puzzle, and coloring sheets for the young ones to personalize. If you're not a Disney Plus member, you can still watch for free by signing up for the 7-day free trial period. Just don't forget to cancel if you don't want to keep the service, because they will charge your credit card on day 8. Now, if you're a romantic at heart or just love romantic comedies or films about underdogs, this next movie is definitely for you. Award-winning Guerrero is now available for free on EBC Films' YouTube channel. Guerrero had premieres around the globe, won numerous international awards, and still had over 27,000 views within its first 24 hours online. The film is in Filipino, but with English subtitles for everyone to enjoy. At first glance, the story might just seem to be a cute romantic comedy, but if you pay attention, you'll notice it's also about growing up and overcoming the hardships change can bring by focusing on the things that really count. Finally, tomorrow is the official launch of Trolls World Tour, which is the sequel to the 2016 hit Trolls. You'll be able to watch it at home through online services such as Redbox, Vudu, and Fandango now. And if you like Trolls, you will probably love Trolls World Tour. It has music and joy for everyone.
I can't live in a world without reggaeton.
And we can't live in a world without K-pop.
Dance off!
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I
Poppy, voiced by Anna Kendrick, discovers there are many different types of music and different types of trolls in the world.
We need to band together to save all music.
woke up in the morning like to...
Poppy sees goodness and similarities in all music, but must find a way to save all music from Queen Barb, who thinks only rock music should exist in the world.
Well, I think this story is special because it explores kind of the complex idea of if we're all alike, there won't be fighting, but then the world would be a boring place.
Thing that I think we're all really proud of is that we're teaching young minds about all these different styles and how that can relate to life.
Trolls World Tour is a fun journey that uses the universal language of music to show viewers that being different can be fun and exciting and good if we learn to appreciate it in ourselves as well as others.
The thing I like about the film mostly is it's a message that celebrates being different. And when you're young, when you're at school, it can be really hard to be different. The tiniest difference in your life can be something which becomes massive. The wrong haircut, the wrong bag, the wrong pair of shoes. School can be pretty brutal sometimes. But this is a film which I hope tells you that actually, if you're different, if you look different, if you think different, you're probably one of the luckiest people in that school, because it means you've got an imagination, and it means you've got a want for something else, for something new, to create something. And so the film celebrates all differences, and so long as you use those differences to be positive and to make a difference, either in your school or outside your school, and every day really, you'll be celebrated for it one day. I guarantee you that.
So when you get back into the world, remember to be proud of the good qualities that make you different or unique. Las Vegas, Nevada, Julianne DeSena, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thanks, Julie. Schools all across America and its territories are making major adjustments due to COVID-19 outbreak, including those in American Samoa. Let's hear from Mio Asenas with the details.
As we all know, American Samoa is not provided with COVID-19 test kits, so we must be able to protect ourselves and allow all hygienic requirements. Because I believe that for better health starts within ourselves.
Vincent Jagan is a high school senior who recently took part in an island-wide science contest where he won first place. His entire family was there to witness his latest academic achievement. And this all took place before the governor of American Samoa issued a directive, calling for social distancing and the prevention of large group gatherings throughout the territory.
During this time period, I will utilize my time to solely focus on my academics. My school has provided an online class that is able to provide the academic needs of the students. Though there are a couple of setbacks from this online method, it is a big help to each student, including myself, to have a flexible schedule and a comfortable learning environment.
For both Iolani and Cassandra, despite their years of experience as educators, the prolonged absence of students and transitioning to only online teaching because of the ongoing crisis are becoming a whole new experience for them.
Well, with the closures of school, the action plan is already in place for the teachers to give the students work packets or communicate with them via social media, email, YouTube, or Google Classroom, any means that they can get in touch with the students. And that should be a good way of keeping track of the students' work and keeping them abreast with school activities as well.
It's good that our administration was able to come up with an emergency action plan before this code blue that we are having in American Samoa right now. So we have plan A for the kids with internet. So what they do is they just log into Google Classroom and Google Hangout so that they'd be able to get their works. But the plan B is for the students without the Wi-Fi at home, without gadgets that they can use for their learning. So what we do is we gave out packets for them. In the packets they have this worksheets, handouts, same thing that we upload in the Google Classroom.
Meanwhile, students, teachers, and families are hoping for the best for the territory to have only few or zero cases of COVID-19. At the same time, they are expecting the worst should American Samoa transition from Code Blue to Code Yellow, with additional restrictions for its citizens.
If the Code Yellow for the pandemic would be passed on and announced to the public, it will be a major struggle for students such as myself. However, in my opinion, us students must be able to be flexible and adapt to the situation. Initially, we must prioritize our health, for this is our top concern.
I think I'm ready because here at home we constantly do our hand washing. As much as possible, we stay at home. We only go out when we have to, like groceries.
Finally, here are some tips and words of encouragement to everyone else in American Samoa and beyond.
Yes, my message is to be safe, take care, practice good hygiene, stay at home, spend time with the family, and don't be up and about.
For Eagle News, this is Mio Asenas. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Mio. The famous Las Vegas Strip may be empty these days, but its local community have hearts full of gratitude for their frontliners. Lonnie Valdecantos with the story.
While Las Vegas continues to follow the stay-at-home order, we see the once popular landmarks and frequently visited Las Vegas Strip in a very different view. With very few people and almost empty streets, one can only admire the beautiful architecture of some of these iconic hotels and recall the attractions they once offered. The vibrant city of entertainment has come to an eerie halt. The world-famous Bellagio fountains featured dramatic aquatic shows choreographed with lights and music at certain times of the day and night. From a water show to a fireball shooting volcano eruption at the Mirage, there was a lot to see at the Las Vegas Strip without breaking your wallet. But the city of Las Vegas is not just about bright lights and shows, it's known for its resiliency and love for community. Hotels and businesses around town shined with blue lights and emerged Nevada stronger, to recognize and show our support for our frontliners. So during this time of uncertainty, with people dealing with anxiety, the city shines in a different light. Mayor Carolyn Goodman also extended her deep gratitude through a video message.
I'm Mayor Carolyn Goodman of Las Vegas, and this time is an incredibly important time for all of us to extend our thanks and appreciation to each one of you who's out there on the front lines working with those who are victims of the coronavirus. We can't thank you enough for being out there in front and taking this on every day yourselves. We've worked with you over the past years and know each one of you is a dedicated, caring human being and proud to be a Las Vegan. So we thank you. Stay well, be careful, and know we're with you all the way in such gratitude.
We salute our frontliners not only here, but all over the world for your sacrifice and hard work. In Las Vegas, Lonnie Valdecantos, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Thanks, Lonnie. Up next, A Year of Less, a book review from one of our ABC friends. Local sports taking hit from COVID-19. A run workout with Mike. Eagle News Weekend Edition will return in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Eagle News Weekend Edition coming to you from Las Vegas. I'm Anna Kui. Reading books can be a great way to take a break from our stressful lives, but as many have discovered, they are also a great way to learn life lessons from other people's experiences. EBC friend Stephanie Ward will share insights she gained from the book Year of Less by Kate Flanders. Take a look.
Thank you and hello everyone. My name is Stephanie Ward. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. And amidst these challenging times, one of the ways I like to personally unwind and to relax after a stressful day, especially after work, is by reading. Not just any book. I personally like reading books that provoke thought, the ones that help you change and become a better person, books that inspire and expand the way that you think. Today, I wanted to share with you a book that I had found about just recently, and it's called The Year of Less by Kate Flanders. And I think that this book is appropriate given that everyone is struggling to try and make ends meet. Kate talks about how she was able to minimalize her spending while still being able to enjoy living a full life, that she was able to pay off thousands of dollars in debt in a relatively short amount of time. Some of the things that she highlighted in her book is she followed a shopping ban. So what that is, she was able to sort out things that she wanted to buy and things that she needed to buy and only stuck to the things that she needed. So those include, of course, her rent, utilities, food, that sort of stuff, but only the food that she makes at home. She doesn't buy pre-made food, or she doesn't go out to eat, I should say, with friends or family. Those things she limited, and she had to follow that for a year. She didn't buy any new clothes. She only stuck to the clothes that she had, and if she needed to, like, let's say one of her shirts had a hole in it, she wouldn't throw it away and buy a new one. She would fix it herself. if she had any furniture that one might think, oh, you can throw this away and then just get a new one. Like, let's say an armchair, she would try and fix it herself. And if she really can't fix it, only then would she buy new pieces of furniture. People will ask you to go out and do things, you know, and to socialize. And these people will often be the people who would tell you, hey, but let's buy this together. And that's because they also want to justify their spending by having you pay for or spend an equal amount of money. Like, if I were to go out with, let's say, one of my friends, and they said, oh, this looks like a cute pair of shoes, would you want to buy them? You should buy them too, you know? But that's just so that they also feel better about spending. So you would have to, of course, say no, and it will be very difficult and it will be challenging, because the people that you think would be supportive of you trying to save money will be some of the people that might actually be upset because you're not spending with them, or because they too want to spend, and they see you not wanting to spend anything, just trying to save, and they feel bad. So they might be one of the people that will put you down first. And she also said in her book to be prepared to miss out on a few social gatherings, because like I said, Kate did try to avoid buying foods at restaurants, and that would of course limit her time that she would spend with her friends and family. But it's not set in stone. This is how she did it. One of the things that she also pointed out in her book is that you can spend a certain amount of money on hanging out with friends or socializing or attending social gatherings and eating out with friends and family. So let's say you only spend 40% of your income and you save the 60%, right? That was one of her examples. In that 40%, you can probably try and include like a $20 amount, and that would be just for food that you would buy if you went out with your friends. And she also said that you don't have to follow it for an entire year. You can do this however applies to you. So if you want to do it for just 6 months, you can, for 3 months, or just 1 month. It depends on your personal situation and how you want to do it. You can adjust what you think is a need and what you think is a want. Like for me, I personally applied the budgeting to where I will only spend a certain amount of my income per month, and then the rest I would put it away as savings, and I would only allow myself to buy food out maybe like once in that month. I'd wait 2 pay periods if I wanted to go and buy or eat out with my friends again. A lot of my clothes, I've been sewing them. If I start to see holes, then I'd fix it myself instead of buying something new to replace it, because that has also saved me a lot of money, because clothes are not cheap. They are fairly expensive, so I've been learning to repair them myself. So that's one of the things that my reading of this book had changed. Those are some of the things that I've been starting to apply. So I hope that you will get the chance to read this book. And if you're busy, I understand, but there is it is available as an audiobook. So if you just wanted to listen to it while you were driving on your way home from work or on your way to work, then it is also available as an audiobook. But I hope you did enjoy this really short book review. My name is Stephanie Ward from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm with Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie. Professional sports aren't the only ones affected by the closing of business around the world due to the COVID-19 scare. Local sports took a hit too, since gyms and rec centers had to close their doors as well. Here's Aljamain Santos from our Sports International with the story.
Since professional sports and gatherings have been suspended, the fans of those sports found it difficult to believe. The thought of not being able to watch their favorite players play was already a sight we never expected. And for a brief moment, local sports clubs and leagues had the attention. But that attention didn't last very long, as the mandate from the government and other state officials impacted all sports.
My first initial reaction to professional sports being either canceled or postponed was, wow, like, is this really happening right now? You know, sports was the one thing that I didn't think was going to be really affected from everything that happened. But when professional sports started to get canceled, you kind of knew, oh man, this is really real.
Our first initial reaction was definitely shock. I don't think we've ever gone through a time like this where sports in general has shut down and just disbelief. And so I think my initial thought was kind of like, okay, this is gonna just pass over. But unfortunately, yeah, it didn't end up that way.
Well, players and teams, they didn't know how to take it at first when the whole COVID-19 outbreak came out, because, you know, a lot of people, we didn't know what the information was and what sources it was coming from. But we had players on both sides of the fence, meaning, hey, let's just play through it because we can, you know, it might not be as serious as we thought. And there were the other ones who were just kind of like, hey, I don't want to do anything to jeopardize my health.
I believe it was a negative impact. Most people want to play. They're concerned about normalcy in their lives. And I think that when they're playing volleyball, they're having a good time and it makes people feel better about themselves.
So there's been a big impact. I have a group chat with the majority of the leaders, captains from our league, and a lot of it was kind of a consensus of we want to play.
But each day, you know, with the virus changing and all these numbers that were coming out, it pretty much went everyone being, hey, you know what, guys, we're just going to go ahead and stay inside and, you know, we'll go from there.
Most players would like to keep playing, but I feel like maybe their parents are on the more cautious side and they want to stop playing until this passes over.
Ooh, emotions and thoughts. Definitely initial is just sadness because of the fact that it was a time for us to come together and build that camaraderie. It was motivation for us to get through the week. It was for some of us our only exercise, our only activity that we were able to do. And again, combining it with the sport that we love, that we're very passionate about, where we could be competitive, we could be ourselves, be women that play sports and be comfortable in our own skin.
So as soon as the NBA players started to catch it and all other kinds of sports athletes started to catch it, we decided to go ahead and just shut down all of our operations to go ahead and kind of stop and contain whatever we can, if the virus even made it out to any of our players in our leagues.
I think people were scared. Emotions were running high. But my first priority would be the safety of the people that come into my gym.
But at the same time, I think that with every seed of adversity, there is a chance for greatness.
It has been tough. Since no income comes in, we have been shutting everything down and not doing very much stuff, spending a lot of time with family, doing things as a family together, and hopefully becoming a closer, tighter family.
The league has never been a money generator. This was something that I've been very passionate about as far as providing a platform for women to play basketball, because I myself was that girl that moved to a new town where she didn't know anyone, and I just wanted to look for other like-minded individuals that were just like me that just wanted to play.
It really hasn't. I mean, the way our league is set up, all the proceeds that we usually get from the league, if there are any, we always give it back to the league, trying to make the league better for the next season, things that we can either purchase or buy, donations, anything like that. It all goes back to the league, because that's what the vision that Ahmed and I had as owners and operators.
I am giving a lot of my time back to my family. I have two boys, 14 and 11, and my big boy that is my husband, that definitely, as I was doing a lot of, multiple things within jobs, other businesses, and within the league, this is my opportunity to really reinvest back into that. This will definitely allow us, I think, to be stronger, more unified moving forward whenever things do come back, because I know for a fact this is not going to last forever. So that whenever we do get to reconvene for the league, that the girls and the women will, I think, be more grateful, which I think we can all use a little bit more of.
If we could say that it is only a matter of time before we can see and play sports again, we would. But the fact of the matter is that it depends on each one of us to play the most important and largest role. Be a team player, prevent the spread, stay at home, spend time with loved ones, and continue to stay positive. From Las Vegas, Aljamain Santos, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Thanks, Aljamain. Well, there should be no excuse for us not to exercise these days, right? Here's ABC Mike Hudson with another fun workout. He says some of us are going to love it. Let's take a look.
What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. It's a beautiful morning here in Washington, state of Washington. I wanted to take you guys through a quick cardio slash sprint slash run workout you can do during your quarantine. All you need is you, yourself, and you. No equipment necessary. So let's get to work. Oh man, what a workout. Hope this video was helpful for you guys. And this workout is specifically for people who are kind of suffering from cabin fever right now, just want to get out for a good half hour or so. Remember, if you do go outside, make sure you practice social distancing, because that's the key in stopping this virus. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the workout. I think it's always nice to go outside and get some fresh, crisp, fresh air into your lungs, enjoy nature, enjoy God's creations. So I hope you guys enjoyed this workout. Let me know what else you want me to share as far as workouts go. Michael Hudson, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Good night.
Thanks, Mike. When we come back, one of our Los Angeles correspondents will show us how to make garlic knots and how to give something a fresh new look. doing a simple DIY project. Eagle News Weekend Edition. We'll be right back. Stay with us. This is Eagle News Weekend Edition coming to you from Las Vegas. I'm Anna Kui. Here in EBC, in this time of stay-at-home mandates, we try our best to keep us all connected despite having to be physically apart for the time being. And one way to stay connected is sharing with each other things that interest us. We have our EBC friend, Jillian Andrade, who will show us how to make these mouth-watering garlic knots. Take a look.
Today I will be making garlic knots. For your dry ingredients, you will need 2.5 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. For your wet ingredients, you will need 1 cup of warm water, 1.5 teaspoons of yeast, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. After mixing your dry ingredients, your wet mixture should look like this, a bit more foamy and bubbly. Now combine your wet and dry ingredients and mix with a spoon until it comes together into a dough. Make sure to mix this dough until all the flour in the bowl is fully incorporated. Once combined, flour a clean work surface that you may knead your dough on. Make sure to evenly spread out the flour. After flouring your surface, place your dough onto that floured surface and get ready to start kneading the dough. First, flour your hands so that the dough does not stick to your hands while you're kneading. To knead, press down on the dough and fold it over and do this in repetitive motions. Place your dough into a floured bowl and cover with a wet towel, allowing it to rise for 30 minutes. After allowing your dough to rise, place your dough back onto your floured surface and flour a knife in order to start cutting your dough into pieces. So I cut my dough into 32 pieces by cutting the dough in half, cutting those halves in half, making them fourths, cutting the fourths in half, making them sixteenths, and cutting the sixteenths in half, making them 32 small pieces. After cutting your dough into pieces, set those aside and allow them to rest for an additional 5 to 6 minutes in order for them not to rise while you're shaping them. While your dough rests, preheat your oven to 475 degrees Fahrenheit. To make the garlic knot shape, stretch out a piece of dough into a long strand of dough. After doing so, wrap it around 2 fingers and tuck the ends underneath the bottom of the dough. Once the dough has finished rising, go ahead and start shaping your dough into different shapes. You can get creative, like doing a dough ball if you really wanted to, or you can do different shapes like stars or pretzels, hearts, circles. Once you're done, place your dough shapes into the preheated oven and allow that to bake for 20 to 25 minutes, or you can keep an eye on it and allow it to bake until it's golden brown. For the garlic butter, you'll need 1 teaspoon of salt, 5 tablespoons of butter, and 4 cloves of garlic. Once your butter is fully melted, add in your garlic and your salt. For me, I chose to use garlic salt instead. As soon as your bread comes out of the oven, brush your garlic butter onto the tops of the bread to get that garlicky flavor. You can do 2 layers of this butter if you'd like to get that extra garlicky flavor. This is optional, but you can top it off with a bit of Parmesan cheese. From Santa Clarita, California, I'm Jillian Andrade. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Jillian. That would go great with some spaghetti right now. Keeping kids interested and disciplined in studying at home is not new to any of us. It is more challenging during quarantine time. Easy-to-make craft projects can help pass the time while keeping spirits up and learning a fun process. Marianne Borja of our Los Angeles Bureau shows us an easy way to spice up your home with this quick and easy DIY project.
Hey guys, it's Marianne Borja, and I'm going to teach you guys how to turn any plain old coaster into a cute one like these. So today, the materials you're going to need are a coaster, some paintbrushes, a stencil of your choosing, a blow dryer, this is optional, some paint, I use red and blue, and a cup of water to dip your paintbrushes in. So first what we're going to do is get a palette, I just used a plain old cardboard piece, and pour our paint. Here you can see that I'm pouring the red paint that I'm going to use for the heart and some light blue paint for the background. So now I'm just getting ready with the coaster. Make sure I use something under the surface so that none of the paint gets on my table. So first what I'm going to do is get my blue paint for the background and use it to make a first coat. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to use my blow dryer to dry it faster, but you can just air dry it. Once you're done drying, which will only take a few minutes, you're gonna get more blue paint and coat it with a second coat. It's important to do multiple coats and multiple dries so that the paint is not see-through or transparent. Make sure you cover up all spots. And now we're going to dry it one more time. Now we're going to grab our stencil and put it on top of the dry coaster. Make sure it's dry so that the paper doesn't stick to the coaster. What I'm going to do now is start putting the first red coat for our stencil in the middle. I'm doing a heart, but you can do any other shape that you like. Here I'm making sure that the paper is sticking down, but not sticking to the paint, since it's already dry. Once you're done with the first coat, you're going to use your dryer to dry it. It's important to do multiple coats. Now we're going to try taking off the stencil, and yeah, so I messed up, but it's okay if you mess up like this. I'm going to teach you guys how to fix it. It is important to use really thick paper, but if you use like regular letter paper like me or printer paper, you can just fix it by putting more paint on the background. You can use smaller brushes or even your fingers to fix those little errors. There's a little bit of paint and some paper stuck there, but it's okay, we'll fix it. I'm using my big brush to make sure I get the outline right on the outside, and fixing the heart on the inside. Sometimes we get the error of having little cracks in our paint when we dry it, but we don't want that. So what we're going to do is put some more paint over it so that it's smooth and clean. There you go, it looks good as new. Now that everything is finished and we got those little cracks out, I'd say our coaster looks pretty good. So here's the finished product. I have a little cute heart in the middle of a blue background. There you have it, the finished product. My name is Marianne Borja from North Hills. We live in interesting times.
Thanks, Marianne. Well, here's a few reminders before we let you go. Wash your hands often with soap and water. Cover your mouth and nose while sneezing or coughing. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Avoid contact with sick people. If you are sick, stay home and call your healthcare provider. Remember to practice social distancing, keeping at least 6 feet between yourself and others, and avoid crowds. But if you must go out to the grocery store, do wear a mask. COVID-19 is the enemy, not each other. That is this week's Eagle News Weekend Edition. Join us next week for stories from our bureaus across the nation and around the globe. Visit our websites at eaglenews.net and eaglenewslive.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/eaglenews and on Facebook at facebook.com/eaglenews. Thank you for watching. I'm Anna Kui, and we live in interesting times.